So hello, Marteen Santerre here with Soul Being, and today I am speaking with Pamela Pearson. Pamela is a catalyst for well-being, so I'm very excited to speak with her today. Pamela, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm really glad to be here.
So tell us, let's start by talking about what is a catalyst for well-being? What does that mean?
Well, I love to say catalyst for well-being because if you think about a catalyst is an agent that speeds change. So I look at my role in working with people is to help speed up their change. It's not my change. It's not what I do. It's about what they do, but I can guide them through the process. And if they're looking to improve some area of their, physical, mental, emotional well-being, I can help them and help them get there faster.
That's fantastic. Well, how do you do that? How do you help them get there faster? I think people want to know that for sure.
Well, I focus on well-being, but I really focus on a couple of things. Stress resiliency and vigor. And vigor is physical energy, mental clarity, and emotional well-being. And the state of these things are really, but the physical component is where I start first. And people don't realize that stress and stress resiliency and mental well-being are very much about what's happening in their gut.
Ah, okay.
We call the gut the second brain. So people think, oh, if I have a problem up here, whether it's mental, emotional, or stress, I should treat up. But we're really realizing that the gut is the second brain and has a really powerful effect on what's happening in your body. So, the gut is, however, only a piece of a bigger puzzle, what we call the gut, the brain, and the gut-brain axis. So there's really three major components to that whole thing.
Got it. And so can you then just explain for everyone, what is the gut-brain axis, and maybe give us an analogy that just helps them? I think it's something a lot of people are talking about these things these days, so maybe just explain it so people can understand.
Yeah, totally. We'll explain it in English. I like to say that
you're not, trained professionals like yourself.
Yeah, exactly. The gut, everybody knows where that is. They know where the brain is. The axis is what connects the two. So I like to compare it to electricity. If you think about electricity is generated in a power plant, and it gets to your house via the power lines, and it's read by an appliance when you plug it into the wall.
Oh, yeah.
So your gut is analogous to the power plant. The gut-brain axis, or the thing that connects them, is to the power lines, and your brain is the appliance that plugs in to receive.
Okay.
So if one of these systems is down, let's say that a tree falls on the power line.
Power line, yeah.
Right, that happens up here in New England all the time.
Yeah.
The power is being generated, and the appliance is plugged in, but nothing's happening.
Correct.
If a transformer blows at the power plant last winter too, there's no power being generated, even though the power lines are okay and the appliance is plugged in. Or if you've ever done this, you're trying to turn something on and it won't go on, you realize the lamp's not plugged in.
Sure.
If you don't have a connection made, then even though the electricity is being generated and transmitted, it's not getting to the lamp. So gut-brain axis is like the power plant, the electrical lines, and the appliance. And if one of those three is optimized,
sure,
then the whole system doesn't work.
Got it. That makes a ton of sense. That's very helpful to understand it. So then can you tell us a little bit about, I think people talk about probiotics a lot and relative to the gut. I think there's a lot of articles on it, and it's one of those things where people are like, oh, I'm going to totally solve this problem for myself, but they maybe don't have all the information. So is that part of it too?
It is, and I'm glad you brought that up, because you go anywhere, you see probiotics in everything these days.
It's in water now, yeah.
It's in water, it's in foods, it's in yogurt. I was at one of the grocery stores, and I saw a magazine that said probiotics for your dog. So probiotics are really important for gut health, and there are specific strains of probiotics that we have in our gut when they're balanced, or if we don't have enough of the good ones. And what we call goods are ones that support optimal health. Okay. If you ever heard of Montezuma's Revenge, when somebody goes to a foreign country and drinks bad water, that's because you have too much of the bad ones that don't support your health. So probiotics are really beneficial, but there's a couple of things that is really that I think been educated enough for consumers. So saying I take probiotics is like saying I live in the United States and expecting me to come pick you up at your house.
Very good. Yep.
So you have to say, well, I live in Massachusetts, I live in Boston, and I live at, this number, Mass Ave, whatever it might be.
Sure.
Then I can find you. So probiotics are really similar, and it's genome, species, and strain, right? So if it was like state, county, street, it would be genome, species, and strain. So if I take lactobacillus, I'm just strain. There are thousands of them. Right? So lactobacillus, sorry, I'm just talking about the genome, where lactobacillus rhamnosus is the genome and the species.
Okay.
But if you get to lactobacillus rhamnosus GG, that is the strain level. That particular strain is really beneficial for somebody who has diarrhea.
Okay.
If you're constipated,
you don't want that one, yeah.
Take.
Sure.
So what happens is when you look at a lot of products and you look at the box, you'll see genome and species, but you don't see strain. And there are for immune system, for brain health, for heart health, for diarrhea, constipation, women's health. There's a variety of different ones. So you take a strain that is matching the particular need that you have. Like if you have anxiety and tension and stress, you want to take a strain of probiotics that will help you manage that. The other thing is probiotics are living organisms, right? They're bacteria.
They're hungry.
They're hungry. They're totally, when you get like those gut cravings.
Yeah. You to feed them for sure. Yeah.
Have you ever seen somebody trying to stop eating sugar? They get these horrid cravings. It's because the bacteria are screaming for more sugar. The reason is bacteria have specific foods they like to eat. So just like a lion.
Mexican food.
Yeah, they totally do.
Yeah.
If you have a diet of Mexican food and margaritas, you're going to develop certain strains of bacteria.
Okay.
Versus if you ate a diet of salmon and kale and lemon water. So it's just like a lion wants a steak and sheep want, grass. So each strain of probiotics wants a certain type of food.
Okay.
So that's when you're transitioning from the Mexican food and margaritas, right, to try to go and kale and lemon.
Kale and the salmon. Yeah.
Totally get cravings because the probiotics are craving the food that they want.
Okay.
A lot of probiotics don't have prebiotics. That's what we call the food. The undigestible fiber is their food. They don't have prebiotics. So you take a good probiotic. Hopefully it's a strain that's matching the need that you have, but you're not feeding it. So it's just going to die off.
Got it.
And the other piece of probiotics is we talked about the 3-part system. Probiotics are very beneficial, but they're only a piece of the puzzle, and they are only addressing the gut piece of the puzzle. So it's part of a part.
Sure.
If that makes sense.
It does. How do people navigate that? Like, is that why you need, that's why you shouldn't just go buy things blindly at the store? I mean, is that where you need a person to help decipher that? I mean, what's the best way? Because it can be super overwhelming, I think, to really know how to use something like that. And like I said, it's something people talk about a lot. Like, how do people navigate that?
Yeah, that's a really good question, because if you walk into a store and you look, it's like, whoa, it's like the wall of supplements, right?
Exactly. My natural food store has a refrigerator, like an entire refrigerator just of probiotics.
And I'm glad you said that, because people think, oh, refrigerator ones because they're better. They're actually not. The refrigerated probiotics are actually not as stable as shelf probiotics. That's why they need to be refrigerated. Now, maybe there's a specific strain for a specific reason that somebody needs, but people say, oh, the refrigerated ones are better. That's a misnomer. A lot of people say, oh, well, this one has, 100,000 of bacteria. It's not the amount on there either. You certainly want to have a good, but you want the right strain. And the only way to really navigate it is talk to somebody about what your specific need is.
Yeah. So what are then, I guess, what some of the most common most common issues that health issues people are facing that are connected to the gut? So they know where to start.
That's a good question. And it's connected, remember, to the gut, the brain, and
the brain too. Yeah.
So sure, if we can treat the whole system, right? We want the power plant running, we want the power lines up, and we want the lamp plugged in. If we look at it as a whole system, then we can start to honestly address so many of the issues that are everyday issues. Now, when people say, you know, they wake up and they say, oh, well, my joints hurt, but that's just the way it is. Or I don't sleep really well, but that's the way it is. Or I just have low energy all day, or brain fog because I'm just so busy. Those are actually not average health, right? That's subpar. You really want to wake up in the morning. You want to feel energized. You want to feel energized all day. You don't have to have a cup of coffee to get your energy. So I'll say that I don't diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease, but I'll tell you that I can help you manage symptoms of weight, you know, weight gain or weight loss, joint pain, poor sleep, obviously digestion, things like gas and bloating, IBS, irritable bowel, colitis. Think about a lot of skin disease, eczema, one that's connected to the gut. Arthritis, fibromyalgia are very big connected to the gut-brain axis. Depression and anxiety, stress, and that whole stress resiliency is very much connected to the gut-brain axis. Thyroid issues are also very huge when they're connected to the gut-brain axis.
So nearly everything, basically.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It would be nearly everything. And what we're seeing also is in a lot of kids. Now, I focus on stress resiliency and a lot of mental and emotional well-being. And I'm very sad to say that the number two cause of death in kids 15 to 24 is suicide. And a lot of that is a mental, emotional anxiety that has to do with the gut brain and the gut brain axis, because our majority of our neurotransmitters, serotonin, dopamine, like the happy hormones and the pleasure hormones, are gut. And what's happening with a lot of the social media, kids are living off pings and dings, right? Their phone is going crazy. You know, they're doing these apps that are like 5 seconds, and it's like we only communicate 3 words. And if you look around, everybody's down on their phone. So they're depending upon something outside themselves to stimulate their serotonin and dopamine, getting their balance right in their own body. And we can address a lot of that. So yeah, pretty much everything.
That's good to know. It's good to know it's addressable. Can you share a little bit, just in talking of this work, just like maybe to ground it, like what are some of the results that you've seen when people have addressed this gut brain piece, and, you know, making sure that you are taking the right types of probiotics? What happens?
I can tell you both clinically and anecdotally. We did a clinical study with results in a 30-day trial using a certain protocol, which I can talk about, nutrition and supplementation. We had people, and I focus a lot on stress and stress resiliency, their negative mood states decreased by half and their positive mood states by half. So things like depression, anxiety, anger, fatigue, confusion, all went down by half or more. And their stress resiliency, their energy levels, their emotional well-being, their brain fog improved by over half in 30 days. Like, how I was so
amazing. Yeah, to get that quick results. Yeah.
Like you're half less cranky and you're twice as happy, right? So
yes, please. Like, where do I sign up? Exactly.
I know, where do I sign up? So, and anecdotally, we've addressed some of the other things. As a fact, people have dropped pounds. Or even some people have been able to put on weight, gain more muscle tone. They sleep better and they have more energy. Their brain fog is improved. They just feel, it's like this, you feel sharper. You just feel this level of clarity.
Yeah.
And another side effect is people naturally want to be more active and eat better. I see people who struggled with giving up certain types of carbs or sugars or foods or caffeine, after just a short amount of time, have been able to say, oh my God, I have no cravings for that. As a matter of fact, I tried a bite of cake at a birthday party and it was so overly sweet, I didn't want it and I got a headache. So we don't realize how good we can feel until we make a change. But it's just so thrilling to see people come alive and really get sharp in a short amount of time.
That's awesome. Well, Pamela, thank you so much for speaking with us. This has been very educational. So Pamela Pearson, who is a Soul Being member and a catalyst for well-being, you can get in touch with her at soulbeing.com. And Pamela, have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Thanks, you too.